Welcome to Touchline. I'm your host, Anthony Totera, coming to you from the Soccer Hall of Fame. And again, we are with Region 5 coach Alex McNaught. Alex, again, what a day it is out there. A lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety from these young men. And the weather isn't playing its part as well, like last week for the girls.
Yeah, we had a great weather last week. This week, not so much. It's been chilly. But yeah, the boys are all excited. They had a game last night. They did very well. Big improvement from the spring, and they were very happy. This morning, the game didn't go so well, but it's all about, we play 4 games. It's all about trying to make sure that they perform at their best and get them to that level so that they show, and make a case for themselves. So.
Well said, Alex. I want to talk about the process again. When Brian Rosenfeld and the staff are looking at your region and they're looking at 3 or 4 players, are you giving those names ahead of time for them to look at, or are they going in there without looking and knowing what names they need to be looking for?
No, we go in with a clean slate, and it's really about watching the boys and seeing what they produce at the weekend. Once it's all said and done, we'll sit down. If we need to make a case for a player, then we will do so. But really, it's a clean slate, and we're all just there to watch and see how the boys do.
We always talked about your region, how tough it is to get good competition. But again, the Ottawa area, the Ottawa Valley area is producing great players. But unfortunately, not enough teams for them to play week in and week out. How they go about fixing that? Do they have to start maybe making more trips to tournaments in Southern Ontario, in Northern USA? How are they going to go about getting that competition in?
I think for the future, it's going to be about how we structure the competitive league for the competitive player and the elite player and the way we deliver that. And I think right now the structure is causing some issues in terms of promotion, relegation, players moving from club to club. Too many clubs, it's diluting the talent. So I think as we move forward, LTPD is going to be a huge part of the improvement of the game.
Is your region buying into it? I know a lot of regions, a lot of people aren't buying into it, and they're really fighting tooth and nail not to let this happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a gradual process. It's about educating people, and it's really at this point we do have a lot of buy-in from a lot of clubs, but like I say, it's going to be a process that needs to take some time and be phased in, and part of that process is going to be educating people about what LTPD is and how it's going to help the player.
Well said. Now you brought me 3 young men here. Sir, what is your name?
Abdiel.
Talk about your experience playing in this tourney here. Must be a little bit nervous, but it must be exciting to display your talents because you were chosen to display your talents. How did it feel?
Well, it felt great. Well, it's my first time doing this, so it's fun, awesome. It's never had an experience like this before, so I should.
Talk about teamwork, because you want to display your talent and you want to display what you have to offer, but you got to also work with your teammates. It's got to be a good combination.
My teammates are great. We play as we like to do, but today wasn't a good day. Weather wasn't good. Well, we'll do better next time.
Well said. Young man, your name?
Niall McLeod.
Now, talk about the game today. The weather wasn't too good. The conditions weren't that great. And again, the ball was up in the air a lot as I saw the first half of it. Talk about how the coaches settled you down.
Well, I think we were a little too on edge about everything, and we weren't calmed down. I guess we weren't woken up. We weren't awake yet, and I guess it was just all trying to get us to calm down and keep possession of the ball. And yeah.
Well spoken, well said. Young man, your name?
Mackenzie Roach.
Mackenzie, what position do you play?
Right striker.
Now let me ask you a question, Mackenzie. Do you play that position with your club as well?
Yes, I do.
So you're comfortable, you know what to expect on this team as well going forward, and you understand what your coach wants from you. Has it been an easier transition because you're playing the same position?
It's been easier, but I've had to adjust because of how high performance of a coach Alex is and the things he expects from me, that I had to adjust to that and create more space for myself.
Well said. Now, we talked about Coach Alex here. Let's talk about a coach back home that is so important to you to help you get to where you're at today, and which club you're with.
I'm with Club Gloucester Hornets, Ontario. Coach Nick LeBlanc, he always pressures me for what to do and makes me do the right thing when I'm not good. And when I'm not in the mood to do something, he tells me to do it. And yeah.
That's a good coach, because if he's pushing and pushing you to get to where he knows you can be at, that is a coach that has a special ingredient to help you out.
Yeah.
And your coach, sir, and your club?
My club is the Ottawa Fury, and my coach is Jimmy Zito. And I think it's just good because he really, I guess I sort of look up to him, and I use him as a motivation just because he's always trying to get us to do better, and like I find we play really well together with him helping us out.
Well said. Young man, your club and team.
My club is Belleville Comets, and my coach is Ken Roy. And my coach made me the player that I am today. I wouldn't have been able to play if it weren't for him. I've been playing for him since I was 8, so my club's rather small, and we only get about 20 to 22 people trying out. So coming to this really made a big difference because the players down in Belleville really aren't as high performers as the people on R5 and other regions.
But it's great to hear that your coach believed in you and he kept on pushing you, and now you're thanking him back by giving it all you got here this weekend.
Yeah, he did. Well, he's the military national coach for goalkeepers, so he's really strict with me and other players, and he pushes us to do our best, and he trains with a couple of us individually throughout the weeks, and he's great.
Well said. Young men, good luck, and hopefully one day you can represent the province of Ontario and also Canada. But Alex, money can't buy the emotions you're seeing here. Money can't buy the feelings these young men are displaying here. What is going through your mind, your heart, seeing and listening to these young men talk?
It's great to see, and for me, the play is the most important thing to me. And a weekend like this, it's really about what can I do to support them and try and make sure that they're performing at the best. Some of them need to be given a little kick. Some of them need to be given a pat on the shoulder and settle down. But that's really my focus. It's not about trying to win games. It's trying to get these boys to show what they can do.
Well said, Alex McNutt. Again, to all the boys, good luck, and hopefully some of them will represent the province and our country, Canada. Thanks again for joining us on Touchline. Welcome to Touchline. We got 3 of the coaches here: Brian Ashton, Dave Peake, and Dave Calistro. Guys, what are you guys looking at in this game? And again, what are you guys debating in looking at a quality in a player? Brian?
Well, we're looking at players, number one, that can play the game. I mean, I think I said it last week on the girls' side. The days of the big, fast, strong player to get results quick are gone. We're looking for players for the future. As far as the LTPD stuff's concerned, that's exactly falling into what we're looking for. We're looking for players that we can move up the ladder, and not looking for wins. We're looking for players that are going to play for the future.
Dave, you're out here. The weather is like back home, up in the north of Ontario, but the wind is howling, and you want to see more ball control on the ground. And some of these kids, I got to tell you, at their age, they've displayed a lot of great composure out there.
Oh, absolutely. Like every time we come here, the level of the boys gets better and better. And today's a perfect day to prove what they can do by keeping the ball on the ground and showing us their technical abilities, having the ability to play in and out of tight areas. Are they able to see the width of the field, and are they able to defend in tight areas as well? So it's just never ceases to amaze me how much better the kids are getting.
Dave Peake, I got to be honest, at this age, anywhere in the world, I've always said we can compete with anyone at this age, maybe up until the age of 15. After 16, 17, we struggle quite a bit. What do you see at this age that you've liked this weekend?
I think at the end of the day, the willingness to compete at this level is crucial for them. If they can compete, then they've got a good chance of moving on down the road. I mean, technical ability, athleticism, all comes into play. But if they can compete and a willingness to try and win the ball and then play forward, score goals, that's what we're looking for. It's a good group this year, though. They're 98, so a strong group right across the board. It's going to be very difficult for the provincial coach to select his final players.
Dave, you've been to the States a number of times, and you see how their development has taken off ever since the '94 World Cup. Talk about our development. Is it not time that everyone jumps on board, national, provincial, and we start taking more involvement in player development?
Oh, most definitely. We've seen it from the States once they were in the World Cup and they created the MLS. It's shown what the kids can aspire to if they can't go overseas, which where most people were going before. They're staying at home. They've got a good league. We can take a letter from that and say, hey, we need to do something like that too. From provincial, from club, right the way up. If we're all moving in the same direction, there's no reason why we can't compete at the international level against the top teams in the world.
Dave Peake, keep up the great work and don't let these young bucks next to you bother you the rest of the day.
No problem. We'll see when the games come around in a couple of minutes.
Welcome to Touchline. I'm your host, Anthony Totera, coming to you again from the Soccer Hall of Fame, and we are with Region 1 players. Guys, what a day it has been out there. The weather is cold, it's crisp, and the ball has been up in the air because the wind has been taking it quite a bit today. Young man, I saw you out there, number 8. You were all over the field. You were controlling the game. What position do you play?
Midfield.
And your name?
Harrison Payton.
Harrison, talk about controlling that midfield the way you were doing it today. How long does it take for you to get to understand that position and have a feel for what you're doing?
Well, for my club team, I played sweeper. And when I went to the regional program, Dave, our coach, helped me understand how to play the midfield, and I really like it.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Talk about how your responsibility is so different from a sweeper now to being the engine of the team in that midfield, distributing the ball.
Well, it's a lot of work. You have to run a lot, and I love having the ball at my feet and passing it to my teammates, and yeah.
Young man, what is your name?
Andrew Stevens.
Andrew, talk about your position. Your position is very key, very important, and talk about how you got to where you're at today. Was there a coach back home that helped you and groomed you as a goalie and made you what you are today?
Well, there wasn't really one coach. There more. Dave and Les really helped me to improve my goalie skills, and back at home, my home academy FC helped me too with my coach.
And talk about Coach Dave. He's a character. He's funny. He makes it light and easy, but he also wants you guys to do what he is teaching you in practice.
Yeah, Dave's a very good coach. I love him with all my heart. He's such a good guy, and yeah, he's very funny. yeah, he's a really good coach. Yeah.
Absolutely. Young man, what is your name?
Ben Upanex.
Ben, let's talk about the same position. You play goalie, and it is a position that is so important. It's a key part of the team. How do you prepare yourself getting ready for this weekend? You want to display to all the coaches watching and showing them what you can do.
Yeah, I just got to get ready. I got to be loud, have leadership, just got to be strong, confident, all those things. I just prepare before the game, think about them.
Well said. Is there a coach that helped you get to where you're at today? Maybe someone really helped you to be where the style you're at?
Yeah, back home there's a player named Jarrett Humphreys. He went through this program, got to the national team. Now he's a coach, and I do training with him, and he's great.
That's great to hear. Young man, what is your name?
William Escobar.
Talk about the position you play.
I play center and striker, and I think it's very difficult but fun at the same time because I have support from the midfield and from the outside guys. And whenever I need help and control, the midfield tells me to turn or to take it or pass back.
Now, which club do you play for?
I play for Windsor FC Nationals.
Very good. And the same position you play for Windsor, you played here today?
In Windsor, we play a 4-4-2 setting. So I played a wide striker, but now I play center. And David and Les have really taught me how to play the center position and how to control my area there.
Interesting. You mentioned a 4-4-2. Now, when you come here, the coaches might want to play a different style. How confusing is it for you to adapt quickly? Are you able to adapt and put away what you were taught from your club and concentrate what the provincial coaches want?
I think I have adapted because we've had a tournament before and we played with Dave a lot. So I think I've adapted to the position I'm in now, and I don't get confused at all.
Very good. Guys, before I let you go, in your region, there's some good players that are coming out of there, some good competition. Talk about very quickly some of the teams out in your area and some of the competition you're getting, because there's a lot of good players that are coming from your region.
Well, in our club team now, we've moved up to OISL, and it's going to be a lot more competitive throughout Ontario, and I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of people would say you guys play in some of the best soccer in the province. A lot of great clubs out there. And that is good to prepare you for where you're at today.
Yeah, like what Harry said, we're in the OSL. Kitchener came first and FC came second. So it's going to be very strong competition and definitely going to have to work on some things.
Well said. Guys, quickly before we finish it off, let's talk about mums and dads. They spent a lot of money, a lot of time to get to where you're at today. They love to see you smile, and coaches that have done a lot for you. Who do you want to thank in closing?
My parents, they're just being there and getting me there, all the long drives, paying all the fees. It's just great.
And I'm sure there's a lot of coaches that have helped you get where you're at as well.
Yeah, like I said, Jarrett Humphreys, Mario Halapier, my club coach, and Dave and Les.
Well said, sir. There's got to be mom and dad or maybe a couple coaches that mean a lot to you to help you where you're at today. Who are they?
Well, my mom and dad, first of all, because they've brought me here. They've taken their time because I'm from Windsor, and that's a very long drive, so I want to thank them first and foremost. And they always push me to the point where I can't get, but they push me, and I think that's helped me become a better player. And I want to thank my coaches from Windsor because they've always supported me. They've helped me get through a lot of things, and they've taught me, well, most of the basics I know right now.
Some other names from Windsor, some of your coaches' names.
Tony Pella and Omar Gersoy.
And I'm sure they will be with a big smile on their face when they see this because they know they've done something right to help you where you're at. Guys, congratulations to where you're at. Hopefully one day you can represent the province of Ontario, but most importantly, Team Canada one day going for a World Cup. Keep your heads up high and keep playing the best you can. And thanks again for joining us on Touchline.